What's up? This war is against ASR. It's war number 15 of the season. We're going backwards. Yesterday I posted war number 19, but we are back in order here. There's Droyon, which is Cam. We miss our boy Cam. Glad he's in a really strong alliance because he deserves it. But okay, so we're going to go in with the standard attacking team, Blade Magic and Ghost Rider. And this first fight that I have is a duped 6-star mutant champ. And if I recall correctly, I'd have to go back and look, and I didn't check before I started this commentary, but I believe I faced Mr. Johnson's Beast on Node 26 in the first war of the season, which is when we faced ASR previously. And I can't remember if he was already awakened. So if not, then Mr. Johnson, congrats on duping your awesome 6-star Beast. I actually do really like Beast. I think he's fun to play. I don't think he's necessarily a great champ. So he's definitely not a champ I imagine Mr. Johnson would be too thrilled to dupe. But regardless, 6 stars, I think, on diversity nodes are always a pretty good idea, just because their health pools are large and the fights can take a little while. And the longer a fight lasts, the more likely it is that the attacker will make a screw up, as I have proven in my war videos. Here, up against the beloved Cameron. And I knew going into this fight, obviously I saw from Scouter Lens that it was a 455 tech champ. And I know from when Cam was in For Loki that he has a 455 Doc Ock. So I expected him, but wasn't 100% sure. Fortunately with Blade, I've got Danger Sense against Doc Ock, and that fight was no problem. So now we're moving up to Node 27, and it is a 455 skill champ unawakened. So there are only 2 skill champs I think are worthy of rank 4 unawakened at this stage in the game. One of them is Blade, and the other is maybe Killmonger. So I was thinking it was one of those 2. Killmonger I would have preferred just because I would have had Danger Sense. But I do make a mistake in this fight, and I believe I slow it down a little bit just to kind of highlight the error that I make. But here he gets me kind of cornered, and he rears up a heavy. I dash back a little bit too early. I should have dashed back twice. I didn't, and he gets me with the heavy. Did quite a bit of damage, and then again I'm cornered. He throws that first part of the heavy, but I don't have any more room, so I throw my L2, and that finishes him off. Okay, and then Node 46. It is a 455 tech champ, but the PI you see is under 20k. So I'm thinking it's a low PI champ, which means that it's not Green Goblin, for example. It's not Iron Man Infinity War, and it's not going to be Sentinel, because all of them have very high PIs. So I'm thinking Ultron, which it is. It's Region Ultron. Interesting placement. And normally there's a Mystic on this node, and Blade eats those Mystics alive, but Blade is also, I think, has an advantage against Ultron, obviously because of the Danger Sense. So, interesting, but I make a mistake in this fight again, so consecutive fights, I just make a really dumb mistake here, and go against one of probably my primary piece of advice in my war video. So he's down to 2%, he's got an L2, he's going to throw this L2, and what I should have done was just block the L2, take the block damage. It wouldn't have been a huge deal, maybe lose 5% of my health. Instead I tried to evade the L2, which I can do, but it's kind of like evading Cyclops' special one. Like, everybody knows how to do it, everybody can do it, I would say, most of the time. But in that situation, it's just not worth the risk because, like you saw there, I mistimed it and it cost me 3 health potions, which is, you know, it's like 700 glory, so 700 to 800 glory. So just a bad mistake. Now this fight is pretty cool. I parry bleed him 5 times in a row. and then I parlay that right into a 5-hit combo. And by the point that I'm at the end of that 5-hit combo, I've got an L2 ready from all the parry bleeds, and I pop him off there. So pretty cool fight there, pretty quick one. So here we've got a 455 Mephisto on double power gain and unblockable L2. Now the L2 isn't really an issue because it's a close range L2. It's not a projectile, so just got to give him some space there. But my strategy here is just to parry bleed him as much as I can. And that's what I'm going to do to start this fight. I just have to be very careful when I get back in the corner. So I'm at I think 4 parry bleeds so far. There's a 5th, there's a 6th, and since I'm in the corner, I'm going to go ahead and hit into him. And then I'm going to throw his L1. There are 2 reasons I threw that L1. Number 1, obviously, to push him back a little bit and get off special damage. But also, I chose to throw the L1 instead of an L2 because if you watch his power meter in a fight against Mephisto, Blade's L1 does a good healthy amount of damage and bleed damage, but it doesn't feed their power meter as much as the L2. So now I'm going to again try to parry bleed him as much as I can, and then I'm going to have to hit into him a couple times just to get him off my back. Parry bleed him one more time. I've got an L2 and I throw that and he's dead. So that is all the fights for me in this war. We lost to ASR earlier this season in our first matchup. That was the first war of the season, sorry. And we did beat them this time. Extremely close war. We did end up pulling out the victory here. Like I said, it was incredibly close. And I don't know, man. They're a strong alliance. Heisenberg 420. He posted a video the same day. So I've got his vid linked in the description. And I've also got Brian's vid linked in the description. Go check those out. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and a comment.